Mount Uhud is located in the sacred city of Medina, in the northwestern part of Saudi Arabia, about 5 kilometers from the famous Mosque of the Prophet Masjid an-Nabawi. This place occupies a special position in the hearts of Muslims of the whole world, since it is inextricably linked with one of the most significant events of Islamic history, a Battle of Uhud, which occurred in the third year in Hijrah 625 according to the Gregorian calendar. This battle was a fateful test for the first Muslims, who taught them important lessons of faith, discipline and unconditional trust in the commandments of Allah and His Messenger. The context of the battle under the Uhud dates back to the events followed after the victory of the Muslims in the Battle of Badr, when the Meccan Gentiles, who suffered a humiliating defeat, longed for revenge. They gathered a huge army of about 3,000 warriors at that time and moved to Medina in order to end the Muslim community once and for all. The Prophet Muhammad, having consulted with the associates, decided to meet the enemy at the foot of Mount Uhud, which would allow using a favorable position for defense. At the beginning of the battle, Muslims, who were no more than 1,000, prevailed due to their courage and coordinated actions. However, the key moment of the battle was a violation of the order part of the archers left by the Prophet on the slope of the mountain to protect the rear. Seeing the retreating Meccans, they decided that the battle was already won, and left their positions, wanting to collect trophies. This was used by the enemy cavalry, which came from the rear and inflicted a crushing blow to the Muslim army. As a result, Muslims suffered heavy losses, and the Prophet himself was wounded. Despite the tragic outcome of the battle, she became the greatest lesson for the Ummah. Firstly, she showed that success and victory is only from Allah, and even a temporary victory can turn into defeat if it disobey His commandments. Secondly, the battle under the Uhud demonstrated the resistance and unshakable faith of the associates, which, despite the wounds and death of the comrades, remained devoted to Islam. Thirdly, this battle was a test for believers who separated sincere Muslims from hypocrites, who, after the battle, began to spread doubts and amazing moods. Mount Uhud is also mentioned in reliable hadiths as a place loved by the Prophet. He said that a worship is a mountain that loves Muslims, and Muslims love her. Today, this place is one of the important points of ziyarat visits for pilgrims coming to Medina. At the foot of the mountain there is a cemetery of the Shaheeds, where about 70 associates who fell in the battle, including the uncle of the Prophet Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib, awarded the honorary title Mr. Shaheed's Rest. Muslims visiting this place experience deep emotions, imagining how their righteous predecessors fought and gave their lives for faith. Mount Uhud serves as a reminder that the path of truth is not easy, and tests are part of Allah's trust in its slaves. It symbolizes stamina, patience and readiness for self-sacrifice in the name of religion. Today, Mount Uhud remains not just a geographical object, but a spiritual symbol connecting the modern UMMU with its glorious past. Many Muslims, coming to Medina, necessarily visit this place in order to honor the memory of the Shaheeds, make a dua and think about the eternal values of Islam. This place is filled with a special grace, and everyone who has been here feels an invisible connection with those who gave their lives for the triumph of the word La ilaha illallah. Thus, Mount Uhud is not just a hill in the vicinity of Medina, but a living witness to the heroism of the first Muslims, a place where the blood of the Shaheeds spilled, and where one of the most important lessons of Islamic history was taught. She teaches us that even in moments of defeats lies the great wisdom of Allah, and a true victory is the victory of the spirit, faith and the unshakable devotion of the religion of monotheism.